Yeah.
We're live, sir. We're live on your show.
Greetings and salutations. The Big Bone Podcast is here. It
I'm saying big back.
I'm on I'm
I've
on
got big boner.
I'm a flat back. Oh, Manny, no one cares about that. Okay, we don't care if you're
Hey,
excited to
I
see John
stay
Cena.
hard all day and night. Oh yeah.
Wow.
You know what? Move to the next. Let's get to this. Cena confronts Cody. Mariah May is headed to WWE.
She may not
And
be alone.
yeah, I feel like Abaddon's gonna show up with her.
No. There's some.
Naomi and Andrade qualified for Money in the Bank.
Yeah, but Andrade, you used this picture of Andrade, and he looked like he just had a setback.
He looked like he linked back up with Charlotte. He looked like, oh, I did it again with Charlotte. Oh,
he didn't have a good photo that night. And more because they just have shock look on their face.
Marcus, this might be the biggest stretch that you did right there. Full SmackDown recap by the boys.
I know that's the plan.
You mean Dalton Castle's guys is gonna be on the show to talk to us? I'm curious. Are we doing fast?
I didn't even think about that.
Well, Bianca's got that look on her face because she's like, hey, he put how much popcorn in his mouth in that last
minute? and Chelsea got the look. That's my popcorn.
I just wanted the Chelsea Green picture because that reaction picture is ridiculous.
Everybody, welcome to the Sharpshooters Wrestling Podcast. I am Eric.
I'm Lord Manny Hayes, the racially ambiguous one, and he is
Marcus, the grand finale, the one who chooses not to be racially ambiguous, the man who chooses to be black in America that don't want. Oh, anyway,
you can't choose to be black.
It's not a choice; it just happens, man. You just happen.
I can find some black people that are choosing not to be black at this current moment, Manny.
You mean Sol Ruka? You mean Sol Ruka?
You leave her out of this, damn it! You leave her out of it. She's the last black North American champion we got.
Damn, I just can't believe that happened this week. Can't believe that happened.
We lost the title, title for the culture.
It don't make any sense. But might as well just jump right into things. As you guys can tell, I have my AI background right here. I'm on location, and there was a lot of technical difficulties that trust me.
The assignment is the toilet.
Yeah, and it looks like you're ready to coach the summer league. You probably got your shorts on and your polo.
What you can't see right here is the logo for the team that I'm coaching, so that you might be right.
You're for the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Okay, coach.
You know what? Yes, coach is ready to lead the troops into a battle. We have a lot to talk about, but I want to start off with MVP, who I felt was just promoting his soon to be. Oh, you want to talk about Mariah May first, Marcus?
No. We can go MVP. I don't honestly care. I was just laughing at that. Let's go with the headline. Imagine a news show going. But first, let's talk about MVP.
First, the black news.
So he says he will explain when his podcast launched why he has zero respect for Triple H. And although he has questioned a lot of the decisions that he has made, that his loss of respect for him is not race related. However, he did point it out that he felt that it's kind of shocking that Triple H could not find a way to use Bobby Lashley in a meaningful situation, and so on and so on. And so, when I hear this and I'm thinking to myself, well, here we go again. And I know Manny says I'm always right there protecting Triple H. And I'm like, you know what? Unfortunately, this week, Triple H did not do himself any favors with these allegations being thrown out when you have 3 black men being pinned on your SmackDown television for no reason this week. No reason.
No. I didn't even notice that.
Javon took a pin, Mello took a pin, and who was the other person that took a pin?
Taz got beat up by the Wyatts.
Yeah, it was just like, I was like, okay, wow. This was like to the point where it's like the narrative, he's doing things to match the narrative, and it's disappointing because, you would like to think somebody would have an opportunity. And, if there's smoke, there's probably a fire. Gentlemen, would you listen to MVP's podcast to find out why he has no respect for Triple H? Or do you even care what MVP thinks? Because he needs to figure out what's going on with his home where his boy cut a better promo than he did. Because, Max cut a better promo than MVP. I was motivated. Marcus, I go to you first.
Okay. I was wondering who you're talking to. I was ready to chime in. So I will tell you this right now, Eric, and I want you and maybe in the whole world to hear this, God damn it. I refuse to listen to his podcast. I refuse. But does that mean I'm not going to read the clips and excerpts? No, it's not. I will read it because I am so sick of wrestling with podcasts. And they're like, wait till I spill the tea on my podcast. And you listen to the podcast and you go, that's it. That's it. And I ain't got time for that. He took my
sandwich. You're going to be like, he took my sandwich.
Here's where I stand with MVP. I'm sure he has a reason. I'm sure he's probably right. Triple H has nothing to have him beat the allegations whatsoever. Because you know what? If it looks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, God damn it, it might be a duck.
And not the Affleck duck because he's a little expensive. We might can get Howard the duck. We might can get Howard. We can get Howard.
He's in the MCU, so we can't afford that.
Oh, Eric's in the cuck chair.
Come on. You know what? You know what? There's Eric slander going on out there, but I refuse to let that man be in the cuck chair.
Wow! I didn't even make that joke. Jimmy alluded to it, and then I was like, "What kind of chair?"
I just want to let you know. I would show you what the walls are painted like. They're painted with the galaxy, but man, we need to stay focused. MVP, not.
Yeah, actually, biggest one chime in. As Eric realized he's in the cuck chair, probably needs to put some plastic
Does this
over
make
it.
one of your races inside of you tingle because you have multiple races because you're ambiguous? Which one of your nationalities are offended by this?
Well, first of all, I'm not listening or watching the podcast. I'm just not.
Me neither.
Because there are various other wrestling podcasts that are more interesting and will be more interesting. Once he said that piece. That's it. That podcast is done for. That's like, well, you said your piece. That's it. What else are you gonna add to this world? Because I don't want to listen to MVP. He's boring. He has an agenda. It's boring. Stevie Richards' podcast is more entertaining.
Wow.
Chris Van Vliet's podcast is more entertaining.
Ryan does a very vicious impersonation of the Stevie Richards podcast. I'm not saying any of it on air. If he ever wants to come on air and say what he wants to do with that, that's his business. But his recommendation for our show, Manny, he said, you guys want to prove your numbers? Just call yourself the Stevie Richards podcast on the other side. Manny can be the English guy. Marcus, you're Stevie Richards. And y'all just do that show. Just rip it off.
I don't think anything that hasn't been said already and that's already out there is going to be said from what MVP is going to say on his podcast. You can say there isn't anything going on behind it, but the facts are kind of there. It always seems to be happening. But again, are you bothered with it when black women are thriving at the same time?
Well, I was going to point this out because yes, the black women are doing well, and if we're going to call out Triple H for his lack of supporting a black man in their company, I would like to call out Tony for allowing, as Manny sent the video, the skinheads to treat Willow the way they're treating Willow. I do not condone yanking a black woman by her hair by a white male, by any male, by that fact. It's not a good aesthetic to be on television.
Eric, this is why I don't like intergender matches. They shouldn't happen because there's some idiot that's going to be out there. I'm not saying anyone on our fan base is going to do it. But there are some idiots out there that are going to think, okay, this is okay. I can go out there and power drive a woman to eat her.
Yeah,
some idiot will think that. That's why
I can grab a woman's hair. It just
or spit on them.
Yeah. It's just not a good look. It's just not. It just like I was watching. I was like, hey. First of all, Gabe Kidd, I don't even understand. This is why New Japan was losing money. If that's your hope, man, I'm disappointed by that. He's not even jacked. It looked like they looked like a bunch of bros. They looked like it was pretty much mocks. But then there's also rumors about Bearcat.
Before you go into Bearcat, can I stay on the Willow thing? Can I say AEW needs to improve their EQ and stuff, or get a grand scope of what's going on in the world and society right now with all the division and stuff. And then number one, as Manny brought up on the show, let the bodies hit the floor does seem inappropriate after you giving away the Owen, or right before you lead to the Owen Hart Cup. It just seems like that's inappropriate.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, see, that same reaction I had. Didn't think about it.
Didn't think about that myself. Wow, that is a very interesting.
Yeah, but that's kind of inappropriate. When you overthink things. When you overthink things,
I mean,
deeper, you can make a serious agenda about anything.
Yeah,
I think that's the thing about with professional wrestling. I don't think we want to overthink anything, but sometimes you have some think pieces that you need to do, and it's like you did deeper.
But here's my also thing. Right now, one of the most popular news stories right here in America is the Diddy case, and that is all domestic violence. It's all domestic violence. There's no reason we should be watching men hitting women and also having the Diddy thing in the background going like, oh, this is bad. I just feel like read the room. You got to read the room. I wasn't even going to talk about that. I mean, I wanted to also go back into Triple H and his situation of there's evidence mounting up on the man. That, you know, you can criticize, so there's a lot of evidence mounting up because it seemed like when someone else is in charge, Bobby Lashley was a main eventer. It seemed like when someone else is in charge, Montez Ford seemed like he was probably going solo. It seemed
I don't know because Bobby has spent time in the mid card, even under who should not be named.
Yeah,
but he was featured like from the beginning. He was in the feud with Vince. I'm talking about way back, the main deal. He did mid card stuff, but he was at one point he was like, you know what, I'm running with the title again.
But Marcus, you can't make money with Bobby. I'm sorry, it's a reason why even AEW, he's not even for all the belts that they have. He's not even being mentioned at one of the singles belt. He's a tag wrestler. It's like the fact that he can't talk, that MVP and MJF are the ones that cut the promo for both of them and then sheltered him to stay in the back.
And Bobby Lashley was in WWE at least within the last year. Like he'd only been in AEW for maybe 6 months now, or even less than that.
And you know what? When Triple H got full power, what was Bobby Lashley doing? He was kind of a manager for the Street Profits and B-Fab.
Yeah, but he was also he's still mid card in AEW where he is right now. I don't know if he is in their age demographic to be in that main card now. I
think the Bobby in the main event scene is over. I think that's
but this seems like the basis of MVP's point. For like him, Shelton are in their mid 40s. There's not much you can do with them other than enhance other talent and make other talent look better than what they are.
Yeah, and just because you put a worthless gold belt around somebody doesn't make them seem like you're using them. Because you're really not. Just because the Hurt Syndicate are walking around with titles don't mean nothing to me.
But they are featured every week, though. They are featured every week.
Yeah, because I think Tony Khan's afraid of MVP.
They're what you call them, and they're involved with AEW's biggest, quote unquote, maybe one of their biggest stars. He's kind of fallen off, but he was one of their top tier guys. So, you know, I'm not like where they are right now is not what
I think
the same as where they were at WWE. No, I'm just saying.
I think the only person that really has a strong claim that Tony is doing it better with the dark skin demographic is that Swerve is a main player. He's at the top of the card. I mean, I thought the way they start.
No. I think right now AEW is doing more for the quote unquote the blacks than WWE is currently doing. Other than the NXT, what's ever going on in NXT?
Well, NXT don't count. NXT is the best television in the world. But now, you know,
think about it. Look, Willow's in the main event scene. Willow's in the main event scene.
She's being treated like trash, though.
She is, but you know, she's involved in a big match. She got a Dave Meltzer 5-star match. That's rare for a black person to get. And then you got Swerve. You have the entire team that Swerve team with was majority black. Hobbs is featured in the main event right now. They ain't doing shit, but they're around.
He's not.
They're around the main event. Mercedes is the number one woman on their roster, neck and neck with Toni Storm.
Shantae was mad at Mercedes. She felt that she was really screwing over Tony in their promo exchange when she was listening to that. Like it's the thing about it. Everybody who's good that is black is in NXT for WWE. That's it. Then they call some of them
not Jasper Troy. Not yet. Jasper Troy he's not there yet.
No, he's not
He ain't
there.
there yet.
And I was disappointed that Javon was up to go take a pin because that boy is bouncy. He could be something. And and then I hear that one of AEW's where they kind of dropped the ball, Bearcat, he's being released or his contract is up, and I don't think him coming back to WWE. If he does,
I think there's a lot
will.
worse for him. I think Keith Lee is actually a lot more health-wise worse off than that's all been led on. I feel because he would have come back by now. Like if there was something right with him, he would have come back by now. I think he's generally
he
hurt.
said in his interview, he says that he is fully healthy. He was waiting to get a call back, and they never called him back, and his contract just expired.
You need to understand that in Tony's world, sometimes you just get ghosted, and they don't call you back. And again, this isn't. I'm not saying like and slight on Tony Khan. It was just more like, what can I do with Keith Lee right now? The time has passed, and I mean this for WWE and AEW. There is nothing I can do with Keith Lee at this current moment. I'm just saying.
You never know. They brought Jeff Cobb in, and he's a little bit older. Marcus, I have a question for you.
He's not Keith Lee. You bring Keith Lee in, you expect big things.
Not anymore. Not anymore.
No, I'm just saying it's over. It's over. But I'm just saying you expect something.
No, so if I see Keith Lee in 2025, he's getting the same treatment I have when I see Adam Cole. It's like, don't get hurt out there, Adam. Don't get hurt out there, Adam. Well, I like you, Adam. Don't get hurt. You're a nice guy.
Until he proves that he's back. Like, he has to start from square one. He has to show that he's back to the point where we actually really cared about. But Marcus, I want to ask you a question.
Well, he's older, and it's nothing there. It's nothing there anymore.
Can I ask you my question? I want to ask you a question, Marcus. Earlier, you said that you're done with podcasts. Marcus, WWE decided they were going to announce another podcast this week, and I don't understand why Raheem, a.k.a. Cody Rhodes, got a show. But then his first guest would be his old wife, Brandy.
This is season 2 of his podcast, Eric.
Season 2?
Yeah, he did it last year, too.
Well, whether it's season 1 or season 2, you don't start off with Brandy. Who cares what Brandy got to say in this situation?
Oh, I care. I mean, you had your whole season. But he didn't ask you the one question I wanted, and I told Manny to ask, how'd you feel when I signed with WWE? And they said, nah, not you.
What?
Because, he came back to WWE. And you know what? Brandy and Cody seemed like a package deal. It seemed like it was Brandy, Cody, and Pharaoh the dog is a package deal.
But Marcus, they didn't want Brandy. They wanted Eaton, and she didn't want to be eaten no more. Come on, man. That's why Brandy didn't come back. They don't want
any of those problems. They just said stay on the sideline. I have no problem with him interviewing his wife. Right now, Stephanie McMahon has a podcast. She just got interviewed her husband.
But why was he going like the long way to go? What do you feel about the Raheem memes?
Because he was trying not to say anything racist, Manny. Because he wanted to say, "What do you think about me being black?" Huh? But you can't say that. The Raheem memes was basically, "What do you think about me going to the cookout? Huh? What do you think about me being allowed to say the N word?"
But Marcus, Manny, the reason why that Stephanie had to interview Triple H, she was on a boat full of Samoan men. No one knew what happened on that boat. It might have been a chair like this. I'm just saying.
Sami Zayn was there, but he may be the cameraman.
Yeah, exactly.
I doubt if anybody did anything, Eric. They were on the boat.
You were on the boat. So, Marcus, you one of your slides was that Mariah May is done with AEW, and you think that she could be on her way destined for WWE.
I don't think it's being reported. The whole world's reporting. They've been reporting for months.
Manny, with Stephanie and Julia being, this fast tracked up to the main roster, could you see Mariah benefit being in NXT and possibly being a face down there for a good minute? Because she does have a look.
She has a look, but I don't think she's good enough to be on the main roster at this moment in time.
That's why NXT would be perfect for her.
Yeah, NXT would be perfect for her because I still think when you compare the run she had in AEW, it was obvious Toni Storm was the star in that situation. She did get better along the way because she was paired with Tony when she was when she was Tony's valet. She was wrestling a lot, so you saw the improvement that she was getting better. I just feel if she was put on the main roster straight away based on the star power, I don't think you'd get the same results. I think some time in NXT is probably worth it, and I'm presuming that she'll debut on WWE television on that Evolution pay-per-view, waving in the crowd.
Yeah, but I think it's a good because like with them losing all their star power in NXT, I think like her and her little notoriety would be actually really good for the NXT product. Marcus, what about you? Do you think that she would benefit being in NXT and possibly being the face while they sort out all her in-ring, prowess?
Eric, there is no doubt in my mind she's going to NXT. And I'm going back to I think that's weaving around here. I got 1 month before Mariah May is your NXT Women's Champion. She's going to be JCJ. She's beating JC. It's the only reason to get that title. JC gives somebody a short title run. JC can take that beating real quick, and you make Mariah May your face right away. And do I think Mariah May is a super talented wrestler? No, I do not. I don't think so at all. But it is a slap in the face of Tony and whatnot, and Triple H will follow that route. I think she's all right on the microphone. Do I think she's the best in the ring? No. But I believe she's going to be your NXT Women's Champion by the end of by next month.
Marcus,
no later than a month.
Mark, I disagree with you wholeheartedly in this situation. I do not think
taking that belt from JC.
No, because I think that belt is destined for Jada Parker at this moment. I think it's going to be her time to shine. Marcus, I think the problem is that they're going to take it from your sweet Nubian princess, Marcus. Mariah May going to take that North American title from Soul. She going to take it.
But you don't understand, Eric. Mariah May would not come to NXT without being the number one person. The woman has an ego. She has an ego. If she wanted to be the North American champion, she may as well stay in AEW. She's coming here for star power and notoriety, Eric, and she's been. She only wants to be in WWE. Tony could have threw a bunch of money, is what the reports say. They could have threw all the money in the world to. She's coming over here for the same reason I believe Stephanie McCare came over. They want to be a part of WWE. They want to become stars.
Yeah, but Marcus, the one thing about that, when you come to WWE, it's not like AEW. You leave your ego at the door. There's nobody in WWE that has a contract that doesn't have a contract. What? Marcus, they're not in the top spot. I mean, the way that they did Ethan Page actually worked out very well for him. They made him look like a star.
They made him a champion on night 1.
Yeah, but he had the
and it sinks on night 2.
He had the confidence in the swagger to carry it. Ethan Page is still one of my favorite wrestlers compared to his former tag team partner. God knows what he's doing.
Can we not go into an AEW rant? Can we stay focused in WWE for
I was talking about his partner. I wasn't talking about AEW.
You were about to go to a Josh Alexander rant, which will let down AEW. Don't know how. It was just going down. I don't want to fall down your trips. We go to these every week.
I'm not following that because I
am saying this.
To your shock, I actually thought AEW had a good show this week.
I don't care. I didn't think so.
Well, good for you.
I'm saying this.
Don't you give me that head.
I'm giving you a chop. I'm giving you a chop. I'm giving you a chop. I'm giving you a chop.
Don't you chop me.
Ethan Page.
Don't you chop me.
Ricky Saints. Apparently, according to reports, Ricky Saints is already going to the main roster. That's why he lost the North American title this week. They're bringing him up. Apparently, they're about to bring all these people up. Jordan Grace,
call-ups.
Ricky Starks, Stephanie McCare. They already brought up Julia and Roxanne.
Well, Stephanie's already part of Raw now.
Yeah, she's officially part of Raw.
Which Marcus called on Thursday.
Woo.
All I gotta say is that my favorite call-up right now has been Roxanne because she's just causing more trouble than Judgment Day. Dominic can't resist chicken tendies. He just can't, no matter who brings those chicken.
She's giving them nuggets.
Yeah, but when Liv walked in and saw another woman giving her man some nuggets, it was like, ooh, you lose them the way you got them. That's how they say.
Many alluded to my predictions. Many alluded to my predictions. And for you who haven't heard, I said once Stephanie lost, this is after, of course, post, that she's going straight to Raw. She's going to be in the Money in the Bank qualifier. She's going to qualify for Money in the Bank. She's going to win Money in the Bank. And then she's going to cash in that Money in the Bank on Becky Lynch after the Lyra Valkyria, you must raise my hand moment.
I hope not, because nobody care about the IC
Terrible
title.
situation.
Cash in on
Stephanie-
IC title. I see it happening.
Nobody
Stephanie-
cares, but if Stephanie holds that title, everybody gonna care.
But Stephanie, I think the call ups without I don't know if Ricky Sanks was ready to be called up yet, but whatever. That's not, that's just probably another black man for Triple H to pin. That's because he's running out of.
He's Cody's boy.
Okay, I mean, what can you say? But overall, it'd be interesting. I mean, they did need to freshen up the roster, but I don't know if that's going to increase the viewership that allegedly is down. I mean, I know everybody wants to point the finger at Jey Uso, but wasn't they pointing the finger at Gunther a week prior, and now Seth Rollins? It's like, unfortunately, they don't have anybody like Roman Reigns to make people care. Like,
or Cody.
The stories are pretty basic right now.
Yeah, but you know what? In the Jey Uso slander of it's his fault ratings are down and nobody wants to see him and all that. Saturday Night Main Event got their highest rating ever. And who main evented Saturday Night Main Event? Jey Uso. On SmackDown, who got the biggest reaction other than the Wyatt probably? Jey Uso.
So do you think it's just a talking point?
What are you talking about?
It was all right.
So do you think these ratings and stuff is just talking points by internet people trying to push their agenda across the, their narrative, talking about that the product sucked? Or, I mean, the product is
the product sucks. The product does suck.
When the ratings are down for WWE, someone gets labeled with it of like it's Seth Rollins' fault, it's Jey Uso's fault. When the ratings are down for AEW, no one blames anyone other than Tony.
Yeah.
It's not
That's
fair.
Right. It's like, you got to put it on Triple H in that situation.
I put it on Triple H. I think his booking has been shaky, and I think it's redundant. And I think every show since the start of the build to Money in the Bank have been the exact same with 900 triple threat matches. And then non-finishes for matches I care about, like that tag match last week, which we get no follow-up basically other than Montez coming out with the best tag team in the world. It's blah, 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 blah. And then the same thing happened with the Wyatts taking them out. Nothing new occurred.
I do question what Triple H has actually done in his time in charge, because all the good, it was stuff that he inherited, like the Bloodline story, the Judgment Day.
LA Night, Judgment Day. It goes on and on.
He's inherited everything. And
except
now
for John
Cena's
run.
Yeah, but that's stale. I'm not enjoying that.
Know what's funny though? I thought the most funniest thing that happened this week was that it's not often when someone cuts a promo and that promo aligns itself with both companies that are going on. When Ricochet said he needed to find him a faction, that's like, it seems like that's everything.
Eric. He said he needs to find himself a crew.
A crew.
You know what that means, Eric?
Leo Rush.
And Action Andretti.
If that's his crew, Marcus, he is trash. He's basura. But it seemed like everybody needs to have a faction. There's too many factions. We don't have people just hating people for no good reason. So the only hate promo we got was Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre, and Damian Priest decided he wants to go after Jacob for whatever.
Nah, see, when he came out, I was like, you know what? Replace him with Mike. Give me some Mike. I don't need Damian Priest. Give me Mike.
Yeah, promo-wise, there were some good promos this week. Mike Santana was really good this week in his promo on NXT. I thought Hangman Page, Will Ospreay, and Swerve had a really good segment.
I thought that was one. I Marcus, for the first time in life, I was like, wow. This story makes sense. I understand why Hangman won. It should be an original one that gets the title out of the briefcase. And they need to work together. I was like, yes. I was all in it. And then they start having tag matches. And I was like, what the hell is this?
Well, yeah. I like the Tony Storm Mercedes segment. I know your wife didn't like it, but I thought that was a solid segment.
I thought Tony was great, but Mercedes was awful, Marcus.
I thought
Mercedes
she was fine.
No, Marcus.
No.
You do a better British accent than Mercedes does.
It was like this,
and yours is terrible.
What do you mean?
She's not. See, there it is.
It's amazing.
Before we travel the world of professional wrestling, we probably should do our due diligence and talk about what took place on Friday Night SmackDown. Friday Night SmackDown started off in the one place that was not going to boo Bianca Belair. That was in Knoxville, Tennessee. She came out there dressed in her Tennessee orange, got the crowd hyped up. hugged her mama, who was in a wheelchair. We found out more that Naomi gonna put her in a wheelchair like her mama, where I thought Naomi was out of bounds.
Naomi was out there. Naomi
Ooh, when she said that, I went, damn. Her daddy got to jump the rail. Her daddy got to jump the rail. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, Marcus, this is not AEW. He can't put hands on that woman. But you know, they came out there. Manny, the opening segment. Once again, we've been going to that route that Bianca may be heel, but it looks like that she was happy and she found her spot. Did you like how SmackDown opened up with all of the women involved in the segment?
I did, but I feel like it's like true Triple H fashion. It's going to take a long time before we get Bianca's involvement in this story. It's going to take too long, and then we're all going to lose interest because Jade and Naomi are starting to fizzle out. It's starting to fizzle out.
It's the same thing.
And it's just Jade running out there to get Naomi. It's getting boring. It's getting boring.
Well, and Marcus, I'll give you, like, when Jade walked out there, she had a chance, and they just stared at each other. Her and Bianca just stared. Like, they could have had some words with each other. What's going on?
See, you see, just looking at this on the surface, man, it's deeper than that.
It's not.
Manny, it's deeper than that. Eric, it's deeper than that. It's deeper than that. I saw more. So right now, Bianca can't do shit because her finger is broken or injured. I don't honestly know what the situation is, but she's out for a bit.
Oh, fuck off. Just wrap that shit up and use it as a club.
What you didn't notice that I noticed in this scenario, Naomi came out, declared her love for Bianca and all that, and said she's going to put her in a wheelchair and all that. But the visiting of the house and all that, visit her house while she wasn't in there.
I wish that was recorded.
I know that's why it wasn't recorded.
Manny wanted a Swerve Strickland situation.
No, I want the Seth Rollins invading Edge's house, and then he's putting his nasty ass boots on their couch and everything.
Oh, he got called David and Daniel.
Looking at the kids' artwork on the refrigerator and stuff like that.
So we have that going on. But the one thing that didn't happen, Bianca and Jade, I believe Bianca's going to turn on Jade at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view and help Naomi win as a return favor or some kind. This would be the full heel turn because they lean too far in the babyface. Yes, she's in Tennessee getting cheered, and she's from her mama and her family, and you know she's over there and she's all against the Wild and all that shit. But I think by the end of the day, she's gonna be heel again.
You've got two running theories that sound very good, but you can only sit with one. One, Stephanie Vakir winning this thing and cashing on Becky Lynch for that Intercontinental title, or you got Bianca helping Naomi.
Okay. Yeah. I can fix this. She helps Naomi, but it doesn't work out. They don't win. Wow. They don't win. They don't win, but she stopped Jade ass from winning. She stopped Jade ass from winning.
I just hope Jade's chest is okay because Naomi fell on her. I mean, Nia fell on her very hard. I was concerned because I was like, damn.
Well, she had money in her chest, Eric. She was okay. I don't know if you know the outfit. She had dollar bills hanging out, and I was going, what the fuck going on here?
And so probably one of the more funnier segments of the week is when Solo. This match was Margaret. The opening was better than the match because of all the stuff that didn't happen. And I think I knew
was dead.
Yeah, and I think I knew
was dead. The moment Bianca came out, they just died.
Yeah, they sang their Tennessee song and that was it. That's all they had.
They sung their Tennessee song. What is the Tennessee song?
You know. They don't want to go too far cheering people. The mayor of Knox County running around there.
So you had the bloodline walking in, Solo, JC, and Jacob, and they run into R-Truth. And R-Truth just asked Solo, I didn't know you brought your son to work. Who's this little man?
I ain't never seen this man in my life.
I've never seen this man in my life. I'm going to talk to Nick.
But then you knew that R-Truth is 53 years old because he used a word I haven't heard in a long time, a word that scarred me my entire life when I had to go to JC Penney and we had to go shop at the Husky section. I hated the Huskies. And nobody wants to be called Husky.
Yo, Husky son.
Yo, Husky, I'm going to teach your Husky son a lesson.
They have your size, Husky.
Yeah, and then you know, Jacob said, yeah, y'all can go ahead on that. I got my own business. And I was like, damn, why he even showing up with them? He clearly don't like them no more. Why is he hanging out with them?
Family, man. Solo family. He family. Trying to get the bloodline. Solo has multiple agendas going on. He's trying to get this Jeff Cobb thing going. And By the way, can we skip to the match? I just want to skip to the match when Jeff Cobb and Solo tells what you're going to do a flip. How dare they? He just did his flip and moonsault. Solo gets on there and like, do it again. And then the nerve of little ass Jeff Cobb said, the man said, do it again. Nigga, I killed you at that moment. Cost him the match. Cost him the damn match.
Yeah, that was the first Black
bullshit.
Random backstage stuff. We got the Secret Hervis getting the match with Zelina Vega, who gets absolutely no pop. They need to take the belt off of her quickly. She don't even get an entrance. She just sitting in the ring with her title. Like, I have never seen a champion treated like this before. Tiffy was interviewed in the background. Everybody else came walking up talking about, girl, I'm going to win the Money in the Bank. It was Naomi. Then it was Bliss. Like you said, Naomi is the one that's going to have it. Then they made the announcement for World
I say Stephanie's going to have it. I'm sorry.
I think it's Naomi, Marcus. It's not going to be Stephanie.
Bet.
I'm not betting
money on the line.
I don't gamble anymore.
Money on the line for Money in the Bank.
You don't gamble anymore because you're too poor at the moment.
That is also true.
Donate money on the line. Good old fashioned cold $20.
You can't gamble when you ain't got no money. So then
cold $20 on the line.
Then we had the Street Profits, who I thought was actually presented fairly well when they walked out to the ring. You got the whole camera following them and stuff like that. But then they went out there and they started talking about how they had the best tag division. And quite frankly, as Marcus said in the pre-show meeting, it's one of those things that make you think a little bit. It's like they might be right because tag team wrestling, it ain't that great right now. I might not like the teams that they have, but I might take those teams over some of the other teams in other companies. So let's play the game. Who you got? Because you know, Los Garza. Welcome to Who You Got, Marcus. So we're here with the WWE Tag Division. Who do you have? AEW or TNA?
So when it comes to tag teams, I don't think AEW, TNA, and most of WWE does not have a tag team division at this current moment. I think all divisions are extremely weak. And me saying one is better than the other does not say any of this is good. This is like saying that the dunk contest is back and the best dunker is what's his name, McClunkin?
No,
McClutch?
Yeah.
What's his name?
He came McClunk.
McClunk, McLeod, whatever his name is.
He can't even make it to the league, but he can dunk.
Yeah, he can't even make it to the real NBA. And that's where we're at right now. We don't have any real players in this situation. So when Montez said the SmackDown roster, I thought about it. I said, you know what? By default, you guys are probably number one. Are any of your tag teams over other than the Street Profits? No. That is it in the line. You can't go Raw. No one gives a fuck about what the New Day, the War Raiders, or the Creeds are doing. That's their division. Dead. TNA, AEW,
you got
AEW's tag teams. You got the Crew walking around. You got you got a bunch of trios teams. The Frat House, the Founding Fathers. Private Party's gone missing again. Top Flight got beat up by MJF by himself.
Marcus, how dare you not name the number one tag team?
Oh no, I was getting to it. I build up to my teams, okay? I build up to my teams. Then you got Les Archer and Brian Cage. Hold on. And then you got the best dressed tag team in the world, the Gates of Agony. So we are at a loss. I mean, the Hurt Syndicate is on top of the world. And apparently being a black tag team is hot right now in the streets because every team other than Hank and Tank on NXT are black tag team champions. It's out. We're just in a rough spot. And then I don't even want to talk about where women at in the tag team division because I can't even tell you who the women tag team champions are right now.
The Judgment Day.
Yeah, but you don't Liv don't belong. They don't belong. It's Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio Judgment Day drama. Plus, Liv going for the Money in the Bank briefcase. Everything else fits other than that tag team title. They ain't defending those shits.
Let me ask you this. Would you say tag team wrestling across WWE, AEW, and TNA are kind of at a standstill right now?
Yeah, they're all done. They're
75% of those tag teams are black that are tag team champions.
I said that.
I've just listed. This is a bad state.
Can I ask you? I want to ask you a different question than I want to ask Marcus. Do you think one of the biggest problems that we have with the Street Profits currently right now is that we don't know if they're faces or heels? I'm very confused of how do people know if are we supposed to cheer him or are we supposed to boo him? I don't know.
The real question you should be asking is, why are the Wyatts involved in this? One, how long they're gonna be around before we start saying, you know what, this is just the Dark Order all over again, hanging on too long. Because it's starting to get sad. It's starting to get sad.
What do you mean? Manny, they are the most popular group in all of WWE. Unlike Selena Vega, unlike the Motor City Machine Guns, unlike the Creeds, they get a reaction.
Marcus, let me pause. Manny, I don't understand why you have to bring your Donald Trump tendencies in here. It was a question. Was the Street Profits facer here? And you went and started talking about reporting the Wyatts and the hatred for them. Manny, I'm happy that the Wyatts have direction. If anybody could carry those tag team belts, it will be them spooky fools.
Eric, I'm not saying they have direction. They came back. They did the same thing 2 weeks in a row, and they were doing this already before they left. There is no direction. What's going on?
If they weren't called the Wyatt Sicks and they were called Five Nights at Freddy's or some bullshit like that, and Bo Dallas wasn't involved in this, no one would give a shit about this. This would not be over.
Hold on, I disagree. Because I'm going to say this for the record. The best tag team in WWE right now, is Dexter Lumis and Joe Gacy. They do their little shit, and I'm going, hell yeah, they on the road. They look good. I know you walking away. They look good, Manny. They look good. They look good. It's the rest of the Wyatts holding the back. We will not stand for this.
What I miss? Who look good?
I was saying Joe Gacy and Dexter Lumis look good in their spots. They look good
in their spots. But Marcus,
they look like a solid, competent tag team.
But like Nick ain't doing his job. Like they need to be booked in a regular tag team match if they're gonna take this tag team stuff seriously. You know, the thing that I'm really
Nick ain't showing up for work. Where's he been for 2 weeks?
He was on this week.
One of my favorite tag teams is not even being featured. Although they did get a win. Los Garzas. They got a win when they pinned the second black man tonight, where Javon Evans got pinned because, you know, what can I say? Ethan was like, I'm sick of y'all.
I'm sorry. Ray Phoenix is a star.
Ray Phoenix deserves better than losing every week.
Ray Phoenix does not need to take a pin.
They love themselves some Penta. Penta gets the same spot every week in a row. We do our opening talking segment, and then we go to Penta. He does his pyro. He does his walk. We go to commercial, and they praise Penta. Ray Phoenix comes out there and does some of the most spectacular shit. Similar to what he did to AEW. It's just been absolutely amazing. But yet, he loses every week.
I need to talk to my boy Santos, man. Santos. Ethan Page got your team a win. You ain't been able to do that in a long time. You take some page from Ethan Page, man. Santos, step your game up. Santos
gave him a match to win. Santos booked him against Javon. He makes your tag team and was like, we're going to get this going. Santos, again, along with Karrion Kross, which is in the background of random storylines that happen on Raw, Santos is my favorite story in all of WWE, because each week he's fooling them with inspirational speeches and Garza is acting out. And I just like that this is one of the stupidest but one of the most entertaining storylines we have on SmackDown right now. I can't say anything bad about Santos.
So, Manny, I'm going to ask you the next thing that took place on SmackDown, because I'm pretty sure Marcus is going to have a long answer for this one, so I'm going to let you go first. Backstage, pretty much Mello let Miz know you ain't did shit. I done did everything myself. You the ungrateful person known as Mello that led to the third black man being pinned tonight in the Triple H KKK WWE.
Wow. KKK WWE.
It's really that's really going past the limit. Yeah,
that's a real agenda right there.
You talking about someone bringing it into agenda? God damn it, KKK WWE. Not even clever.
But I bet you Triple H want me to eat this right here. He wants me to eat that right there. You know,
that's a whole tub of melon.
Yeah, but it's watermelon's on top because he set it up.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I was like, you don't put that on there, Eric. Don't
talk
about
yeah. But Eric, if that was a Triple H bowl, that watermelon be at the bottom.
Make it work for it.
What was the question?
It was how how did you feel about Melo being ungrateful for all the assistance that Miz gave him, and he didn't like the we? It was more of I because he is him.
I mean, I'd be furious too if I had to get kicked in the head by Aleister Black every week.
Wait a minute, the quote Melo, he never asked him to do any of that shit. Got a point. But
the Miz has made him more relevant than he's been.
Marcus, before you go, because I know we know Marcus has a lot, but as Manny was saying, without Miz, Melo will be still boring. This is the most relevant Melo has been. So he needs to shut up and let the white man lead him.
All because of the Dre, Eric. It's because of the Dre. The Dre has made Melo interesting. But I agree with you. I think the Miz needs to fully transition to the Santos Escobar role of just being a manager and not trying to wrestle anymore. There's nothing going to happen for it. They need to just put him with someone that needs the Miz. I feel like Melo and Miz does not work. But if you put him with some type of monster, some type of like a Jasper Troy, and I know he ain't ready. But I'm talking about something like a Jasper Troy. That's what I mean. Something like a Jasper Troy.
Why are you Booker T? Stop trying to push Jasper Troy down my throat.
No, I'm just saying a big man. That's all I'm saying. You put Miz with a big man and have him fight all the matches and Miz hype him up. Basically be his Paul Heyman. I'm not saying Jasper Troy, but simply I'm saying a Jasper Troy type.
I shall give WWE a strike, and I know you guys are gonna give him another strike after this one, but I'm gonna give him a strike because I got the Julia video package. And I didn't need subtitles. I understood everything that Julia was saying. There was no need for her to have subtitles in that promo package. And I was like, that is disrespectful. But I know the true strike where it will be 2 back-to-back strikes. Right after that, y'all boy, Damian Priest came out there talking. He was talking. He ain't Mike Santana. You know,
my puppy is blind.
Marcus. Maybe the Miz can talk with Damian Priest.
That's somebody to talk to because I just don't see it. And he's had a long time, and it's really. This is gonna sound really awful. This is gonna sound really awful when I say what I'm gonna say. Damian Priest's promo felt like someone talking to you on the subway that you don't want to talk to, but they just keep talking about everything they accomplished. And it's like, dude, like, I beat his ass and walked out that door in that cage. Yep.
But I still don't like your ass.
That's crazy, Priest. That's crazy.
Or it's your job. Somebody at the table talking about where they had it all and then they blew it on one bet. That's what he was doing. I was like, shut up, Damian.
Yeah, and then he was like, Jacob, I understand where you coming from the streets. Like me, man, I understand that. Man, there's 2 different animals right there. You do not look like everything about you look like nah. The streets is Jacob. Jacob is one with the streets. If y'all were raised in the same community and stuff, you are completely sold out. Jacob still got shit going on in the streets that we don't know about.
You're right.
I mean,
I feel like Damian was not running the streets, putting in work. He was out there running through women, almost like Superfly a little bit. Jacob was out there taking bodies, just doing this,
putting in the work.
Up. However, I do think that Jacob versus him would be a pretty good, interesting program, a good win for Jacob to have. I like the stare down because he's all gas, no brakes.
I think Jacob's gonna lose.
I hope not.
I think because they're really going to this feud with Solo and him to break up, and I think Priest winning that title will be the final nail in the coffin of their relationship.
Are you following on the reports earlier that WWE is very happy with how Chelsea Green and Damian Priest are just so amenable backstage, and they are just so willing to do whatever they put, and that's why he's going to get this title that no one wants him to have?
I'm happy with Chelsea Green's work. Yes.
So
Chelsea's the best. I don't care. Her group is the best. Them coming with the stupid signs and the face mask, and Nick making nose jokes, but just her little antics every week work for me. Every week. She ain't miss. Chelsea don't miss.
I have a single question for you. We had the triple threat match, Andrade, Jacob, and Carmelo. Why did Andrade win? Why?
I don't know, but I fell asleep during this. I fell asleep. It's boring.
I didn't need Andrade to win this one.
when Andrade won, I was shocked, but I also was like, yeah, what else? Like, no one in this match was Jacob was not getting into that match. We all knew that. Jacob wasn't getting in there. But Melo and Andrade are the exact same person. I see no reason for this. And then shout out to Aleister Black, said you only won because of me, to LA Knight, who cut a really good promo. I was like, the man was just talking. He was talking a mile a minute. But I was like, you know what? That's what LA Knight is, where he's at. You know what? He can talk his ass off. So shout out to LA Knight.
The only person who can't talk is Jay. And despite Jay's lack of words, I thought the final segment between Cody, Jay, John Cena, and Logan Paul was actually kind of entertaining, with John Cena and Logan Paul carrying everything, from Logan Paul being so hateable and John Cena being despisable by promoting Logan Paul. And I was just like, what world am I in? What world am I in right now? It was weird to me.
Did it make John Cena look like a worse human being for being like, I don't want to fight, but Logan like, let's fight him. Let's fight John being a little bitch. Nah, man, he'll fuck us up. And then he made fun of this little peacemaker, and then they start swinging, and John got fucked up for like the 20th time. John taking these beatings every week. Every week. He knew he was going to get his ass whooped. And Logan walked him right into it. I thought this was the best Logan Paul has been in a segment in a long time. I think because it had purpose. And I like these guys together. I think John Cena needs to be around these Hollywood guys and make it, that's his mission. If he's ruining wrestling, he's bringing all these part-timer out of there. If this Travis Scott thing would have worked out before Travis Scott quit in front of Booker T's eyes or whatever the story is, I think it all works out if they're all associated with John. Bring in all their part-timers with John. And ruin wrestling.
What about you, Manny?
I mean, I felt indifferent when I felt Logan kind of. I hated when Logan was talking. I think that was the purpose though. Is to make sure you not like him. But like he has a certain way of talking, and it's just like, shut up, man. Just shut up. You say the same shit every time you're out there.
Yeah, but this time he was standing next to John Cena in a white beater, man. He said it with conviction. He said it with conviction this time. And this was one of those when it felt like he wasn't phoning it in. I feel like there are times when he comes out there and he's phoning it in and he's just going like, all right, this is what I got to say. I feel like he was like, oh, this is real. This is serious. I'm not feuding with AJ Styles. This is actually something serious. I need to actually do this.
You going to disrespect AJ Styles like that.
AJ's done, man. I'm just calling spade a spade. There's nothing you can do when it's done. Like Will said, go to AEW. Go have some great matches.
The leading story on Cultaholic right now is Will Ospreay is getting a haircut. Slow news day.
I don't give a fuck, Will.
But you know what?
That was SmackDown.
I cannot be mad at Will. I'm not going to be mad at Swerve. I'm not going to be mad at Hangman.
No, we're going to talk about Will right now. I want to talk about Will, Eric. As Eric goes around the world, I want you to tell me what's going on here. You tell me what's going on. Hangman Page, Will Ospreay. The fuck's going on with that? In which neither one of them actually wanted to win the match and lobby for the other person, to the point where they asked Tony Khan, who you think should he win, to the point where he asked Jon Moxley, who do you think who you want to face? And then he said, all right, I go with Hangman. Why does Will want to not be champion? What's up with Will? Why he being a little bitch? That's what I mean.
I think that with the responsibility that, he can go out there and he can say, AEW got the best wrestling, and they got the best this, they got the best all that. But at the end of the day, you also know that it may not be true when it comes to being the most entertaining product out there. Like, you're appeasing to a certain audience. And I think that he may not want to be the face of it, because then next thing you know, you become the Seth Rollins, the Jey Uso, and then you get blamed when stuff is not going around. He's enjoying his life when he goes and he flies over to England, does his show, come over there, do his little work here and there. I don't think he really wants that responsibility. I do think, on the surface, though, the Hangman decision makes a lot more sense, though. He's a day one guy. Day one guy should get the title back that we haven't seen in almost a year. I mean, I just don't like the Death Riders, personally. I think they're like, if this was anybody else and they just keep adding pieces to the Death Riders when it comes to Gabe Kidd and stuff like, I'm like, what Cesaro wasn't enough? Like, that match where Laredo Kid. No, it wasn't Laredo Kid.
Laredo Kid is in NXT.
Yeah.
Finish his story, goddammit.
Commander showed up, and he involved and got Claudio. It's a lot. Like, does Hangman lose, and next Darby Allin comes back and he fights Jon Moxley? What,
Marcus,
Manny? What?
Marcus, there was initial thought in my head the moment he mentioned Commando. I was gonna climb on my bed and then just walk across the bed.
I was thinking of like, hold on, wait a minute. If I'm talking about Commander, you think about my whole life. You gotta be careful. Mr. Safety first. Man was on that rope for an hour before he jumped off. I don't know. Claudio was just like, come on, man.
My whole thing is, if you can't do the spot without thinking about it, don't do the spot. You know what I mean?
If you can't Ray Phoenix, don't do it. If you can't Ray Phoenix and you slide across ropes and shit like he does.
or maybe production should show us looking at Cesaro until he start walking across the rope. You know what I
mean? Cesaro had time to make a coffee and a sandwich.
Yeah.
Shit.
But I do like Will telling Hangman and Swerve that we got to work together to stop these people as Manny walking across his face. But I also
That's
love
too
that.
fast, Manny. That's too fast.
All right.
But I feel like with hey El Luchador, haven't seen you in a while. I feel like Swerve and Hangman, they will eventually come to the conclusion, but maybe it should be Darby Allin that get the title back. He did climb Mount Everest.
Yeah, but so that means All In, Death Riders retain. I don't know when that's where we're at, and I believe that's too long. That is too goddamn long. We need to get the titles off them right away, because my main complaint with the Death Riders, we only hear from Mox, and he says a bunch of gibberish. I don't know what the rest of those guys are all about. Don't know what any of them are about. I don't even know why Gabe Kim is fucking with them. Anyway, like, we don't know. He just randomly showed up one day. Like, boop, here I am.
and I just want to give a keep your head up to Willow. I mean, you went from teaming with the top tier stars to going to team with Mark Briscoe and Mike Bailey. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you had to be a part of that match that no one needed, that trios match. No one needed that match. I don't know why we had to have the Death Riders fight. Like, was it Jon Moxley's obligation to wrestle? I just don't know. They do look like the Clan. Yeah, no, they like a bunch of skinheads, and I don't understand this. This is the week I need to hear from them. They lost. I need to hear what the stakes of Anarchy Arena. I need to hear the consequence. I need Mox yelling at his team for no reason, like it's their fault they lost. Claudio, what were you doing? What were you doing? And I needed him to slap Will Unit in the face and stuff. I needed to see the anger. It was just like, oh, we lost Anarchy in Arena, which was this big war of a match and whatnot, and yet business as usual on Wednesday.
But they weren't the ones that lost the match. It was Nick Jackson getting put through the table on fire.
It's the point they lost, Manny. They lost.
No one cared though. Like, no one cared. From the ops who won the match, it's like, why did we even have Anarchy in Arena if there was no follow-up or no closure to the match? Everyone just went on about their business like nothing was different. Like,
it was like, oh, it's Wednesday, it happened. Great night, guys.
Willow was handcuffed by her ear to a ring post for no reason, to go back and team with Mark Briscoe and Mike Speedball, who had nothing involved with the Death Riders. Like, nothing at all. Like,
no, Mark Briscoe came out during the match to fight them, but he was totally fine. Like, I feel like he should have been bandaged and taped up.
Yeah, he came out completely fine after having an ambulance match. And anyway, I could go on that for hours. Eric, question as we go around the world. Let me feed you some questions, Eric.
Okay.
Let me feed you some questions. I'm sure you're going to be able to get most of your points off. More aura, Adam Cole or Selena Vega? Both very undersized individuals.
More people say boom than they do anything for Selena.
I think it has to be Adam Cole, but Adam Cole almost died this week. I just like when I saw that move, I was like, dude, why are you gonna be so sloppy? Like, I don't like him. Never have. And I'm not talking
Fletcher
about
Adam Cole.
Fletcher. It's like ever since
there's multiple times you came here and say I like Fletcher.
No, Marcus, the thing is, I think I'm sick of the Don Callis family. Like, he keep having back-to-back matches with his talent, and
they always lose.
No, yeah, it's like you cannot have back-to-back matches if your people ain't winning. They're not winning.
Okay, my next question. If you had to pick between these two guys, this might be a tough one. This is a complete opposite of Atticus Zelina Vega. Brody King or Jacob Fatu?
I'm taking Jacob Fatu. Brody King seemed like ever since Alistair left, he didn't really let himself go. He need to get some high.
He did nothing wrong. That's a wild take. That is some wild take. That's propaganda.
No, that man was out there running around in his draws, and I just didn't appreciate it at all. I saw plumber crack, and I was like, have some dignity for yourself. Have some dignity.
I'm a Brody guy. Manny, what say you?
I take Jacob Fatu because there is a lot more you can do with him.
Wow, you're taking Brody over Jacob, Marcus. Wow, I would not expect that from you.
Brody. I like me some Brody. And I love Jacob. I love Jacob, Eric. I love Jacob. But
by the way, Kyle Fletcher's got heat on him. Kyle Fletcher's got heat on him for the power bomb on the apron.
For Uncle? Oh well.
Yeah. No, I agree with El Luchador. I don't know what Kyle Fletcher is missing, but he's missing something. It ain't there. Like
the look. It's the look.
It's the hair. Ever since he cut his hair.
And the outfit that he's with, the prototype outfit, like
the Proto
it's
Star.
Bad. Proto Star. It's a reason why John Cena didn't stick with that gimmick. It's a reason. Yeah, I know he was the prototype.
Do you have anything else you want to bring up on AEW? Do you want to talk about Mercedes and her own parade that she had by herself?
No, it annoyed me. I want to point out that I know Will Ospreay.
Because you said you liked the show.
This is where wrestling lives. I mean, because they were telling stories. I just think that they have too many trios matches. Like, I'm tired of them. Like,
no. You can't blame that on AEW. Because WWE have had about 45,000 in the last 2 weeks.
They have tag matches, Manny. These are trios.
No, but they have triple threat matches, which are
there's so many triple threat matches this week.
But that's not trio matches.
I just want to go back to a good old fashioned one-on-one match. And you know what? In WWE, for the love of God, can I get a match where someone doesn't jump on the apron for the distraction? It's every single match. Every single match, someone jumps up on the apron. No, not even that. Just I'm talking about interference. Just someone randomly jumping up on the apron going, and then the person is distracted. You get out of here, and then we go straight to a roll-up finish or some bullshit. I'm so sick of that.
The main reason why I like Dynamite this week, I thought Dynamite had a story. The main story was the whole thing about Hangman now going to get the title, and now they need to try to work together for this. And
the first 20 minutes.
Yeah, but that's all I needed. Because everything else afterwards was stupid. Because, like, the fact that the Death Riders never even responded to what they were talking about at the beginning, never talked about Anarchy in the Arena. It's like they just showed up, clocked in, and left. I don't understand what their purpose was.
No, explain to me why Gabe Kidd's there. I want to know why.
He's just here.
He
reminds me of Poochie the dog on Itchy and Scratchy right now.
Manny, can I ask a question? Would you prefer to have an explanation why he's there or why JC Mateo showed up? Because they kind of both popped up into their roles.
Solo brought him in. It's simple. Solo said he brought him in, and Solo's like, he's there to help you. We're here to protect you. Our guys are down.
The announcer says that Mox brought him in because he wanted him another enforcer. So he paid some money to get them another enforcer.
Yeah, can we hear from his enforcer? Or can we hear from Mox saying that? Why do I got to hear from Excalibur?
But his enforcer don't look that impressive to me. That's the biggest problem.
Yeah, he got some JC Mateo going on right now.
No, I mean, at least JC Mateo looks solid. This dude don't look like he ain't hit the gym in a long time. Like, he got Aryan Brotherhood workout regimes and stuff like that.
What do you think of Tekla, the Toxic Spider?
I think she should have went to WWE.
Why?
Because I think that she's going to be forgotten quickly. And it's going to be like
Marcus and Eric, I knew nothing about this woman before she came in.
I don't know who she is either.
I don't know anything about her, but like what they did for her didn't make me care. I was like, oh wow, she can do the Bray Wyatt walk. I was like, I needed a little bit more. Like,
I think she has a nice presence. I just think they just went by 100 miles per hour and was like, here's Hayden. Tell me tell me your future in your career. Like Jamie Harris, 60 years old and is about to retire.
Marcus,
and she doesn't say anything. Lights cut out.
Can I just point out? And Manny, no disrespect, I didn't give a fuck what was going to happen with Jamie Hayter's career. She lost. She would have picked it up and she would have kept on moving. Like, for her to have this whole thing to be attacked, I was like, it's not like she had an injury. Like, I thought that they could have. Like, this is where one of the things that I really enjoy where WWE do packages to let me know. Like, give me a couple of packages of Thekla, and then have her make this Impact and Attack Jamie Hayter. Give me a little tease of who this person is. Like, her showing up, throwing one punch. Like, I don't know. Maybe she'll have a match, but who will she have a match with? Hopefully not Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford. Hopefully that's not them, because they're gonna miss a doomsday device. I don't know.
And can we get better women on the show? AEW has a pretty good roster of women. They have a decent roster of people that they do not use. I'm just saying, Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford, every time they go out, something bad is going on. Something bad happening. And it may not always be their fault. Something bad always seems to happen.
I mean, you had Chris Chatelander in the back watching the TV sideways, just whatever reason.
So let's
but that's a WWE trope.
Yeah, you know what? They don't do that no more. It's been a long time since they did the sideways looking WWE, and I'm kind of, I miss it. I'm happy I got somebody in the back looking at something. Eric, let's move into NXT.
I have not seen NXT. I will probably watch NXT once I finish the show, but I do know what happened, so I can give you opinions on stuff that I have not seen, just like most analysts do.
Toxic or fatal influence, Jason James the champion, beat Stephanie.
Marcus, I don't know how I feel about this. I mean, I've always had a soft spot for JCJ because, she was always the other one. And, I wouldn't mind her getting gold, but I don't think that she should get the top gold of the company. I don't think she should be the face. I mean, if I'm Fallon should have got the title before she did.
Fuck off. Fallon's terrible. I'm tired of Fallon.
Whoa. Manny, go ahead. You gonna rant on Fallon Henley? I don't think she's terrible. You were about to go hard on fuck Fallon. She's terrible. Like, wait a minute.
Fallon been trying to think that she's the star of this show. She ain't. She needs to give other people a chance.
She's cute.
Do you not see her coat, Manny?
You see the hat?
The hat?
Look
she looked like she shopped the same place to her and Trick shop.
Look how she moisturizes. Congratulations to Trick and Laz getting the house together.
She moisturized very well, as Eric says.
Yeah, she moisturized well, man.
Nah.
Just saying. She's the only thing that was good at Brooks and Jensen. She lost her bar, but she found a lifetime supply of lotion and oil.
So, because I was distracted with the Vicaire situation, there's other Vicaire news at her side quest with her going after two old ladies from AAA. How dare Lola Rice just throw herself into this match and say, I'll be your partner? And Stephanie had no problems with it. I got to review resumes. I don't know what I'm getting into.
Marcus, the only requirement to be on that show is that you Latina or Latino. That's what it is.
No, even Paige is white.
But who he fighting, Manny? Ray Phoenix and Laredo Kid. In fact, there is so little AAA in Worlds Collide. It's ridiculous. We get Pagano, Dr. Brown Jr., and Crazy Cloud. And other than that, there's no other really AAA talent on the show because Alberto Del Rio loses his title probably just about now.
Are we watching along in that or just Money in the Bank?
We can do both.
Because I'm excited about AAA. Chad Gable versus
I just want to see Chad Gable Vakino match. Other than that, I don't really care.
No, I think it's gonna be a really good show. And
we can do that and talk SmackDown at the same time.
Yeah, I hope what they do though is they keep it AAA and not put the WWE influence. I hope they go and they do the AAA style.
No, it's an NXT show. Yeah, it's an NXT show.
I hope it's a little bit more lucha though. That like they actually do lucha. Like although I hate when they do it in AEW, but still.
Yeah, that's just you being a hippo in a crate. You get the CMLL guys.
Man, look at my purple shirt. I'm a purple hippo in a crate, baby. I do it all the time.
It's a red shirt. What do you mean a purple shirt?
Yeah, that's not purple at all. That's burgundy.
We called you Kool-Aid man earlier.
You like you work with Coach Boone on Remember the Titans.
Hey, I'm just waiting. I'm waiting to receive. I'm waiting to receive my black shirt so I can go hang out with Braun, Seth, and Breaker. The new Death Row picture.
Yeah. So, what's your take on Raw this week and all the factions and whatever's going on?
Raw happened, man. Raw was there. I watched Raw. I remember I watched Raw on the day. I can't remember anything that happened. That's the worst part about Raw, and I'm like, damn.
Do you know what? Me and Marcus didn't go out with a threat. We were threatening to cover the Diddy trial if WWE didn't give us anything, and we covered wrestling.
We totally forgot. You don't understand. The Diddy trials getting so many. They don't do anything. It makes me sick. It makes me sick. It's just people reading one person's Twitter feed, multiple YouTube channels of just reading one man's YouTube feed called Inner City News, and that's all they do. And then they just read it over and over. They don't even do anything. It's just ridiculous. And they got thousands of people watching, thousands of people. So at the same time when we doing our show, that's what we're competing against. And Monday Night Raw gives us that bullshit this week.
Unfortunately, I cannot really watch court stuff. The court stuff really bothered me and stuff. It's just like it's too much. It's too work related. Damn, Tyler Glass now to the 60-day DL. Waste of money.
Yeah, that happens every year with Dodgers pitchers. We have the best rotation, and then they all go down.
Hey, we beat the Yankees last night. That's all that matters.
Ohtani beat their ass.
I was worried that Tanner Smith was gonna blow it though, and then Vesia came in. I was like, damn. I'm in Vegas for a reason. You guys,
I got discount talent.
I'm working on the Aces staff right now.
But you know,
I don't remember nothing from Monday Night Raw. I don't remember anything, and I believe from everything I hear that NXT was the better show because a lot of what the hell happened, like what's going on,
and then Ethan Page opening match with Ava and the chair and the security guards, which made no sense. Entertaining as hell. The Don.
Oh, did the Don address his loss?
He didn't address the loss. He addressed the Luca. Why the fuck? You've been gone for so long, and the first time I see you, you just look at me, and then you stare at me.
You distract me.
Looking like you've been on vacation.
But isn't that what we asked AEW to do with Jon Moxley and Anarchy? And then we're like, can we just acknowledge that something happened? Like,
yeah, this was it. And he's like, I don't know if and then Luca was like, oh, I'll come back. I didn't. And then Tony's all questioning, well, why didn't you call this, that? He's like, oh, because the situation with Rizzo, I didn't want to cause more drama and shit like that.
Yeah, I didn't want to be a distraction. I think the words were you were.
Yeah, because he could have waited in the back. There was a match going on. Why did he come out like that?
You could have talked to me after the match. I was whooping Stack's ass.
Interesting.
But yeah, that's all the week in wrestling there is to really talk about. Not much.
Do you think these roster moves are going to help or hurt the product?
For who?
It'll hurt
WWE
for a bit.
Manny, they have so much talent in NXT.
No. But the reason you bring all these people up is the reason why you cut all those people several weeks ago.
Yeah.
In order to do that, you got to make the unfortunate cuts to keep your roster fresh. It's what happens in pro sports. So people shouldn't get bent out of shape when it happens in wrestling. You've just got to keep your roster. You got to keep your roster fresh, and sometimes it does mean keeping the old guys there a little bit longer because they've got a name, and some of these ones that are kind of just there have to go.
Yeah,
go. I was gonna say I was really shocked that Ricky Sicks got called up before Ethan Page. I was really shocked by that one, but I don't like
get called. Yeah, he can lose that North American title to Devon.
Yeah, but
he's up
for me. And this is no disrespect. This is no disrespect. Ricky Sicks just doesn't talk main roster to me. He just doesn't.
He has no momentum right now at all, and I agree with you. But all ego Ethan Page fit perfectly in that chair. On SmackDown. I was like, that's a SmackDown main event right there. That man is gonna fight Randy Orton.
Can I be real?
No reason.
You know why he didn't get called up? Because Miz was like, I can't have a younger version of me. I can't have that. Because he's just the Miz, just younger.
I think Trick is doing good work as a heel, by the way. And I think he's gonna make I don't know how long his TNA championship is gonna run, this Hollywood Trick or whatever he's going by these days. But I think, you know what? It's good. And then at
Mike Santana.
I don't know. They got Santana is going to WWE. He cut that promo and made fun of Trick shoes, and I was like, I'm sold on Santana. And I looked at Ortiz and was like, man, if you only had ambition like this, man, y'all could have been tag team champions.
I watched Nick Nemeth and his brother talk to someone at What Culture. And Nick Nemeth was spriting off how he's furious at Joe Hendry, and they need to have.
That was hilarious.
We're gonna have to bring him into like wrestling court because you lost our title.
Yeah, and let me tell you this about the Nick Nemeth being furious about the TNA title being lost. As angry as he may seem, no one's as angry as the owner of TNA. When Drake won that title, he just had that look. That was one of some of the best acting anybody's ever did. The intensity in that man's eyes of motherfucking Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry fucked it up for everybody.
Wow.
Eric got training camp with the Commanders later today. Eric is defensive line coach. He's just missing the towel on his neck. Nah, he's offensive line. Eric looks like a former center for the Steelers.
Man, you cannot put stuff that you was chatting with.
He has
a car dealership in Pittsburgh after 9-year career selling Daewoo's and Daytons.
And Dotsons, man, you damn right, man. Come down to Eric's and special appearance today, signed by the grand finale. He's gonna be there to sign your Daewoo if you buy one. He's gonna autograph it.
Oh, what last thing I was gonna ask? Sports related, Eric. Let's just go. Let's just call a spade a spade. The NBA's dead.
No, man.
The Pacers and the OKC have killed it, and I know they're a great team. OKC is a great team. They kill basketball.
It's not over yet because Manny.
We got Tim Duncan all over again, Eric.
Manny, are they gonna do it tonight? Or the Knicks gonna first to Game 7?
No.
Or is Indiana taking them out?
The Pacers are taking them out tonight. Last night, the other night was a fluke.
They got to take them out tonight. Jeff Teague's impersonation of Cat had me die. Yes. I was like, no. Why is he so saucy? No, it's gonna be
pre-show.
The finals is just gonna be for people who like pure basketball. You don't need a big mark because they play really good basketball. It's gonna be two teams going against each other. Could Marcus draft pick who they drafted and traded for Paul George, will he lead his team against either Indiana or New York? I mean, honestly, you really want it to be the Knicks. You do. You if you're the league, you need it to be the Knicks. It's gonna be Indiana though.
You think I'm rigging tonight? I'm rigging tonight, man. I don't care. I don't care what the world thinks. If I'm Adam Silver, I don't give a damn what the world sees of me. I'm rigging it tonight.
But Marcus, you could try to rig it all you want, but you know Tom Thibodeau will mess it up somehow, some way. He just will. That's what Tom do.
Not my referees. Foul.
Tom gets you close.
We haven't even inbound the ball yet. You call it foul.
I don't know, man. It's a trip. It's a trip. Like the NBA. The few games I watched, it's been actually really entertaining. I was shocked that I actually watched Dynamite and didn't have anything negative to say. I mean, outside of
you did have a few things. You had a lot to say.
Eric's full of shit.
Yeah, but I felt my positives outweighed my negatives.
You said one 20-minute segment was good, and then said another positive segment about the show.
And that's why you got to come down to the dealership to pick up your brand new car. I'm slashing out $3,000 right now. It's the rebate. If you come down right now and use the term grand finale, because I want you to drive off the lot today.
Eric looks like he's eating a sad married people soup at 5 p.m. so he watch Murder, She Wrote at 6.
First of all, it ain't Murder, She Wrote that I watch. I can't stand that damn show. I'm watching New York Undercover, the reruns of that.
Are you really?
No, I'm not. But if I...
I'm about to say,
he's watching some food show, related show.
Actually, no, because Top Chef is about to end next week. So,
are you not watching the 24-hour cooking show like you did last year?
It already ended. Brian finished second.
Oh, you watched it?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, I haven't seen it. Thanks for the spoiler.
I didn't think you was watching it.
I wasn't.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not a spoiler.
I absolutely wasn't watching it.
Oh, so question. I know I've seen online that The Last of Us has been getting season 2 has been getting bad reviews. Marcus, I'm pretty sure you watched it. Did you hate it?
I haven't finished it.
Oh, did you hate what you watched?
I don't honestly care what I'm watching. I was like, I'm over zombies and shit right now. Once a character died, I was like, that's no point.
Manny, what are you watching right now?
At this very second right now. He's watching porn. He's like, I can't share my window.
No, I finished Uncharted 2. I'm playing.
You finished Uncharted 2 already.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm going through Uncharted 3. I'm about halfway through that. Which I think I'm going to stop at some point. I'm too deep into this. Nathan Drake is a mass murderer, people. Drake is.
He's a culture vulture.
Culture vulture?
A colonizer.
He just
Manny, have you ever played the God of War games though?
No, I plan to play the one off before Ragnarok and then Ragnarok at some point.
Maybe when you start playing, maybe I'll go back. But no, because I don't think Manny would play Ghost because you don't like stealth. He was like, I got no time for this. I want to go in, do my.
No. There's so many moments in Uncharted 3 which you are supposed to do stealthily. Nope, just cause a big gun scene.
For the record, I'll tell you this: if Eric, you told me the game was Ghost, and I get to play as Patrick Swayze, and I get to do pottery.
My God.
Then I'll be back in the games. You put that on the Wii or the Switch or whatever. 3D.
No, I just want to have the fight that he had. Remember when he was trying to stop the dude, but he couldn't because he's a ghost? That was the greatest thing ever.
You know what? Make Patrick Swayze the video game. I'll be down to do some Ghosts. I'll be down to do some Roadhouse to game. And then after that, I can't.
If only we can get our Uncle Steve voice track and talk over that game. That's what we need. Oh, this way he go in there and kick their ass.
Yeah, he gonna kick their ass. Oh, they gonna do it. I don't want to spoil it. He kick their ass.
It proceeds to spoil it.
Oh, she don't know. Like he was the worst person to watch a movie with that he seen tweet like he was spoil the movie. But then say, "Oh, we ain't there yet. We ain't there. I don't want to spoil it for you."
You know, in so many different ways. I think I get a lot of my sayings from my Uncle Steve because he just be he a hoe. Like, why is she a hoe? What the hell?
You'll see what she do later. She gonna sleep with his brother, and then she gonna go with him. But then she gonna shoot him, and that's how the movie is. But I'm gonna spoil it for you. You gonna enjoy it.
Oh, because you want some DDR with Dirty Dancing?
Let's get Dirty Dancing.
Or just dance with Dirty Dancing?
Fuck DDR. I hated that game. It wasn't made for fat people. Well, at least for me.
No, that's Footloose when they do the cat the thing.
That's Kevin Spacey. That's Kevin Spacey, Marcus.
That's not Kevin Spacey. That's Kevin Bacon. Kevin Spacey's a different type of game.
Coming to my room.
That's also called the Escaping the Chris Jericho podcast.
Yeah. When we gonna get to the Me Too games? Me Too.
Hey, so you know how to get 30 lives, you put the code baby oil in.
Mm-hmm. And at the end of the game, the whole thing is: are you going to go to jail? Or are you going to go home? And if you go to jail, can Trump pardon me? Can you get me out? Trump? Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. That's all you need is a little taste.
Let's see a little bit. Well, just give me a little bit out.
Let me make sure I go get myself prepared so I'm not an old man and fall asleep at a concert, which I don't think I will. But you know,
you might.
I'm not.
70 years old.
How are you gonna fit this in with your coaching commitments?
Yeah.
It's a reason why the concert's at Allegiant, man. It's a reason why the concert's at Allegiant. We're gonna have a team squad meeting right after this phone call. I'm gonna have.
I'll tell you this. After this concert, we better not get videos of you with Stephon Diggs and doing pink cocaine or some shit. That video is ridiculous.
He wasn't doing the cocaine. He was giving the cocaine.
Make him do cocaine.
He pulled it out like this. That man was gonna take part.
No, because he can't. He know the test, but he like to get them girls high. But the worst part about it, his girlfriend was on the boat with him.
Yeah, but she don't care. They were probably all doing coke. They on the yacht. They on the yacht with Natty.
Oh, the Natty yacht, man.
That was a party.
Natty yacht. That was everybody was there. Like I was thinking about
everybody.
Not Charlotte.
Everybody.
Not Charlotte. Not Shayna.
Becky.
Not Becky.
But Shayna was there.
They got kids. I'm going to exclude the ones that have kids.
Was Shayna there?
Shayna was there because
not Jade. Not Jade.
Naomi
Jade
was shooting her own. Naomi was shooting her own version of Naked and Afraid. With B-Fab and Shayna Baszler.
Yeah, shit was they were out of control on that yacht. But it's just funny who were the people who showed up on that yacht. It was all the people released. Shotzi was there too. Like you just be like, oh, these people are here. Then it's like, somebody find my baby oil. Please. I need to get out of here. I need to get out of here.
You know, they probably was pumping TJ with them pills. Like, you gonna go to work today, TJ. You gonna satisfy us all.
You know, but do you think he was there?
I don't know.
Natty, can I come? No.
No Bailey out there.
Okay, Bailey's swimsuit was ugly. I was like, what is this? Like, please have it match.
Eric, it didn't have to matter. It didn't have to matter.
We saw what we
saw. She could have had a better outfit, Manny.
Yeah, I just everybody else seemed like they was out there and like it's also when you look at parties, like when they put out the cake, who was closest to Natty, you're like, oh damn, she really cool with Bianca because you had to see the spacing where everybody was at.
I'm going to tell you this,
Eric. Do you like pickles?
Yeah, I want to say this. You like pickle juice? I love me some pickle juice. I don't know why that reminds me of JP Smooth, but Eric, I'm gonna tell you this right now. As much as we call Natty the lunch lady and all that, I would tell you this. Natty is the old white lady in the black neighborhood that talks more shit than anybody out there. Yeah, just tell it as it is. I'm sure she's cool with all the blacks.
Wait, did you guys hear about my favorite news story today that a lady got turned in for having oral sex with one of her students because her student...
Oh, yeah, he sold her. He's like, oh, she get terrible head. You son of a bitch, you ruined my life. He snitched on her.
No, Manny, his line was, I mean, to risk it all for some teeth was just a waste of my time. That's why I had to tell her.
That is a savage move, and damn.
I was like, damn.
Never has a man. So, yeah, she was white. She was white. He was black. He was black.
No, he was white.
No, the kid was black.
Was he?
The teacher was white.
No, I thought they were both.
I think. I mean, maybe
the story I got, they were both Caucasian.
Oh, maybe I looked at it wrong.
It don't matter.
Maybe they just put a whatever kid up there.
The fact that I snitch once I graduate. I want my easy A.
Manny,
I need this woman out of school.
He was snitching while they were still in school because he wanted to save somebody else from that bad experience.
An A's an A, people. An A's an A.
I don't need an A that bad.
You guys want to hear what Ricochet had to talk about Carmelo Hayes booking?
No.
Okay. Then we'll end the show.
I wish Ricochet would just shut the fuck up.
Okay,
why can't he just talk about his own business? Like,
well, you know, I can't.
What he say, Eric? Go ahead.
Well, someone
this
posted
is a wrestling show.
Last night, loss was frustrating enough that I turned the show off and went straight to bed. I still don't have the exact words, but I do not know this. Carmelo Hayes deserves more than what he's been given over the past year. He's proven he can elevate anything he's handed, and with a mix of humility and undeniable confidence. Yet somehow it feels like we haven't moved forward since last year's draft. This is what a fan says, and they stay patient. The fact that they're this invested in Melo, I don't know why, but okay, whatever. So Ricochet says, he works for WWE. That is the prize. That is the reward. Shouldn't that be enough? He works for the biggest promotion in the world. They make the most money and get the most views. That should be enough. What does he want? More? Sounds selfish to me. He's such a little bitch.
No, he's being a troll. He's basically projecting himself. He's being a troll. But whatever.
And now he's about to, Margaret, I swear to God, if Rico is teamed up with those two little motherfuckers, I'm done.
Well, pick your team. Pick your team we want to win. But that's how we end the show, wrapping up. Manny, give Ricochet some wrestlers to join his little crew.
Give Ricochet? Are you calling Eric Ricochet?
No. I'm saying give Ricochet some guys.
We did this on Thursday already.
don't remember. Fuck it. I'm asleep.
What the heck? Why is what is Naomi doing? So Bianca says happy birthday to Montez Ford. And then Naomi says happy birthday, Montez Ford. Caution sign. Can I swing by? What's going on?
I appreciate that. I appreciate that way. But hold on. Tweet of the week goes to the New Day while wishing Ridge Holland a happy birthday. That is disgusting. and it's out of line. The story on television is going nowhere. But that on Twitter was just like, you son of a bitch.
All right.
You no good son of a bitch.
Another thing that just came out, I don't know if you guys have saw the tweet where Metro Boomin said that he would love to produce WWE themes or something like that. Well, apparently they are working together now. He will be producing some things for WWE. Are we excited or not excited about?
I'm 1,000,000% excited because it can't be worse than what we got these days.
Man, the Street Profits. Can we go back to the old Street Profits? Why can't we go back to the old Street Profits?
Why can't we get a good version of Sheamus music? Sheamus has had 20 different theme songs, but they went with the worst one possible this week. And I was like, why can't we get any good? Why are the theme songs so bad?
Also, I still do not like Fraxium's theme song. Don't like it.
It's the only good one they've had in years.
I don't like that one. I don't like it at all. Just like I don't like Motor City Machine Gun, pop, pumping fists. Pop, pumping fists. It's like, no.
You know what? I believe that's 90% why these people ain't getting reactions. Zelina Vega's music is trash. The Motor City Machine Gun music is trash. Music plays a hard part in people's presentation. You look at people
I think the best music in the game, right? I think the best music in the game is still Bianca Belair because she's on her own against the world. It just whip. You just want to do it.
We got Alistair, Bianca.
Marcus.
I like Alistair's.
Alistair's music is great. His little right, but when he gets to the ring, he owed Marcus. He owed, and honestly, it do feel like Zelina got the title to get Alistair back. It's like, is it worth it? Is it worth it? Is it worth it? I'm sick of Seth's song. I hate that song. I like Roman's
They need to change it because the people keep singing it and then things get... It needs to stop.
Yeah, it's like he said on the show, it doesn't make any sense. You guys are so stupid. And that's exactly what it is. Yeah, but, let's wrap it up. Let's get out of here.
I can't. I don't have any powers, guys. I'm not on my computer workstation. So you have to wrap it up, Marcus. You have to.
The following show is presented by Arby's.
Put the condom on the Arby's hat.
Show shit. Wrestling shit. Just like WWE is currently Arby's and.
But it's nice to see that Arby's rose for Julia. Naomi, I need you to get a different haircut. I'm not a fan of the red.
She's supposed to play crazy. You ain't supposed to be a fan.
But at the same time, she does seem like somebody that be trying to slide over to Montez's house with that red hair.
She looked like she'd get chased out of somebody's apartment.
The big Jim coming over there. Yeah, Chelsea without makeup look completely different.
She look about the same. Just, when she has a broken nose, Eric.
Girl, what happened? Girl.
That's what I look like. Oh, shit. These segments are not connected in any way or any form or fashion. It looked like it.
Eric, why are you eating that popcorn like that?
You mean Kirby?
The boat on the boat. I'm on a boat.
You mean Kirby? Dun, 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 dun.
What Kirby games?
Well, you eat popcorn like Kirby.
Can you not do that slurping sound again? That was actually disgusting.
You probably get better head than that teacher.
I probably do. I ain't never did it, but I'm pretty sure I can do better than that.
Is this what you bringing? I'm in high school and I know this is trash.
She going to NXT.
Girl, you sure